All right, we're hitting the red button right now on YouTube. We are live on YouTube. We're going live on Facebook. We're going live on Mixer. We're going live on Periscope. And we're going live on Twitch. That's what's up. Hey everybody, how's it going? Hope you're doing well today. Welcome to the live stream today. We're live on Twitch, Mixer, Periscope, Facebook, YouTube. Creators on all platforms, I'm here to help you out. Hope your morning's going well. Hope you created some content last night and things went pretty well. Things are going well for me as well. So this morning, I'm gonna help you grow your channel. I've got some questions here from one of my patrons, Waffello, asking whether he should open up a new channel. So I'm gonna talk with you guys about that. But something that's really important to me to talk about in this episode is how I quit my job and I ended up going full-time on YouTube. And I'm gonna tell you guys that story. I'm gonna tell you some of the decisions that were involved with me going full-time so that perhaps those of you out there that are looking to go full-time yourself can learn from my story, can learn from my journey. Then we're gonna go into helping patrons, and then we're gonna go into answering your questions as well. We're live Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. every single day on all these avenues, so I'm really excited about this one. Hope you guys are too. Welcome to everybody who shows up early in chat. Ultra A-rated A in YouTube chat. It's great to see you. Nate Robbins, wonderful to see you as well. And so if you're not already familiar with me, my name is Andrew Awall, and I'm the co-founder of the #1 YouTube gaming network, TGN. I've produced over 5,000 videos that have gotten over 1 billion views on YouTube, and I'm YouTube certified, and I've been helping creators succeed for a living now for the last 7 years, and I've been a YouTuber for 9 years. And so I'm here to help you, and that's what I'm gonna be talking about today. So are you guys ready to hear the story? The story of how I quit my job and I went full-time on YouTube. Let me know in chat if you guys want to hear that one. And hopefully the music sounds really good for you guys as well. Hopefully that's working today. Streamlabs OBS, man, it's got its intricacies. You got to restart it here and there. So let's go ahead and get into it. So when I first started getting into YouTube was the early days of YouTube. We're talking about 2008 and 2009. And I saw gaming channels out there popping up, like H to the Husky StarCraft was producing content on YouTube. And this was StarCraft 1, StarCraft 2 era when those games started becoming, you like this music? Awesome. When those games started becoming big. And Waffello's ready to hear the story. We're gonna help you out, Waffello, right after that. And so once those games became big, I started producing content with my friend. His name was Danny. His name, otherwise known as MBD. And here's some of our old content that we used to do. And I used to create basically StarCraft 2 esports commentaries, as well as StarCraft 2 videos and music videos and fan content back in the day. And on this channel, FTW Broadcasting, we ended up getting up to like 10,000 subscribers on this channel. And I started getting noticed in the gaming community. This was 2011 I released this particular video. And this is when I really got my start. And during the day, during this time, DarkFX asks, how are you YouTube certified? But no blue tick? No, a check mark next to someone's channel is not being YouTube certified. That's having their channel verified by YouTube. I'm YouTube certified. I've taken all the YouTube certification exams. I actually teach people about YouTube as a part of my job. But anyway, so on my, welcome to the stream, DarkFX, it's good to see you. And so I created this fan content, and during the day I was working an audio-visual job, working at hotels. I was doing audio, mixing, live PA, was doing rigging, I was doing video setups at the Waldorf Astoria Hotel in New York. And if you're not already familiar, it's like the most legendary hotel in New York. And we were doing like multi-million-dollar events and this really high-level stuff, like for the United Nations, for US Open, for Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I mean, some of our clients were literally the President of the United States. It was a pretty cool job. And at night, when I came home, I would just grind out creating videos on this FTW Broadcasting channel from like 10 p.m. all the way to 4 a.m. every single day. Just grind all freaking night. Because I had the dream that I wanted to go create content on YouTube for a living. And then eventually, I ended up creating some videos around Star Wars The Old Republic, when Star Wars The Old Republic came out. The Stevenson Grek family, it's good to see you in chat. I'm telling the story right now, for those of you that are just joining me, of how I quit my job and how I went full-time on YouTube. And so I ended up making content around Star Wars The Old Republic at the time, and this content started really taking off. And TGN was starting to kind of emerge at this time. This was early days of YouTube, 2011 on this content. TGN was starting to emerge, and we were running this new shows strategy. This link probably doesn't work anymore, yeah, because the website's not up and running anymore. And we were starting to build this channel that you guys might be familiar with today. It now has 1.2 million subscribers. At the time when I started getting involved with TGN, it had like 5,000 subscribers. And we were considering doing this new concept on YouTube. And this new concept is, you would love to do YouTube full-time? Heck yeah, that's what's up. I'm telling the story of how I went full-time, and maybe this can help you. Yes, indeed. 1980s Retro, it's great to see you. Tom Nash recommended me to you. That's great. Tom Nash is an amazing man, and I'm going to talk about a piece of content that Tom Nash made later on in the stream. He created this amazing video I'm going to share with all of you guys. It's absolutely incredible. So when I joined TGN, this particular channel for TGN had about 5,000 subscribers, and they brought me on board to be a content producer for Star Wars The Old Republic. And so this is actually when I met Big Nate, who's in chat, around that time. And I started live streaming on Twitch full-time, the Twitch avenue that you're probably watching me on right now. Or not full-time, but part-time. And I was getting a lot of traction, and I ended up becoming the biggest personality for Star Wars The Old Republic at the time, which was one of the bigger games in the history of YouTube. And so the guy who originally started TGN came up to me, and he and I have been talking on the phone for a long time, and he asked me if I wanted to come on board this new startup called TGN. And so I debated it quite a bit, because I had a full-time job that was paying me pretty well in New York City. I had at that time a wife to take care of, and we had New York City rent, and there was this new internet startup and this new YouTube thing happening, and I didn't know what to do. It looked really exciting. It looked like a business that could take off. It looked like it was my dream job to produce gaming content for a living. And so I ended up taking a massive pay cut. Massive pay cut. Cutting all of my benefits, and ended up just going full-time on this startup called TGN. And fast forward to today, it ended up becoming the largest gaming network in the world, with tens of thousands of partners and billions of views per month, and ended up being a success. But in retrospect, you know, startups have like a 90% chance of failure. So me jumping off of my full-time job to do this startup had an extremely high probability of it failing and me being out on my ass. And so, you know, it was an extremely high-risk maneuver. But I did it. And so when I started with TGN, what I was doing was something kind of similar to what I'm doing right now, guys. And this is why I'm kind of coming back to it in my life. This is me, a younger version of me 8 years ago. And at the time, I was the head of TGN. And I was just telling people about how to become a part of our community and how, you know, we're helping creators. This is in the early days of YouTube. This one's 2013. And we had forum badges and what have you. And we were helping creators grow. That was the whole idea behind TGN, is a network created by the people, for the people, created by creators, for creators. And that was my whole pitch in all of these videos. And I did tons and tons of episodes of this We Are Gamers show along the way. And by building this community, and by the Gamer Nation is what we're calling ourselves then, by building this community and building this kind of extremely relatable network in comparison to like competitors like Machinima and Fullscreen and what have you, you actually saw a creator on screen talking to you about YouTube, me, and actually getting what you're going through. And the people that were running the network were our partners. The people managing our channels were our partners. The people that were running our community were our partners. The people that are running our socials were our partners. And so I integrated creators and partners from the network into everything that we were doing with TGN. and it really drove a lot of success in the early days of the network. And so we ended up partnering up with Broadband TV. And for those of you that are just joining, I'm telling the story of how I quit my job and ended up founding TGN, and it became, whoa, hold on, look at my body. I am a disembodied person right now. I gotta fix this. I was not supposed to be up this high. There we go. Back on Earth. I was messing with my settings earlier. There we go. That's where I'm supposed to be. Not way up there. That looked ridiculous. Anyway, here I am again. Okay, so I was a disembodied head. I was dead there for a moment, it looks like. But anyway, so we were doing this sort of content, and we were bringing a lot of partners on board, and it was working out incredibly well. For the people, by the people, YouTube network, it was really taking off in the early days of TGN, and it was extremely amazing. You know, even smaller partners could join, and they could get these massive benefits, be a part of, we had this show called TGN Icon. It was sort of like American Idol, but for YouTubers that we ran, and I was the host of this, and we would bring different partners on board, and they would give us audition videos, and we would give them this sick prize package to help them grow. Look at this prize package, and it was amazing, and I worked my ass off on this show to help creators with it, giving them XSplit stuff. What else did we give them? I think we gave them a capture card, and I built all these business relationships. We gave them SoundForge and all these cool things, a music license, and all this stuff was like new concepts on YouTube in the very, very beginning. And we were hooking people up with game bucks and hard drives. It was sick. It was so awesome in the early days of TGM. And I just felt like we were bringing so much value to partners then, when a lot of other competitors at the time were focusing on, we're going to be doing original content, and we're going to be this, super, we're going to be this super high level media company, and we're going to be super high profile, and we're going to blow lots of cash on all these flashy maneuvers. And what we were focusing on as TGN was, we're going to deliver value to creators. We're going to deliver value to partners. We're going to give them things. We're going to build a community. We're going to help them. We're going to educate them. We're going to give value. $25,000 in value in this video, and it worked. And in the long run, having being partnered with this is just me hosting this video, I guess, this graphic, but being partnered with Broadband TV ended up helping us blow TGN way up, because Broadband TV is if you're not already aware, is like the parent company of TGN, and we ended up growing this thing significantly with their infrastructure. They gave us financial support, they gave us business strategy support, they gave us so much support to help us become more successful, and it just really took off. And so it ended up working out because we partnered with Broadband TV, this company. So now today, my role is I'm not just like the head of TGN. Today I run all the social media for Broadband TV. I do video operations for the company. I run all of the TGN channels as well. I run our in-house studio. And so I'm doing a lot of like kind of upper management work for Broadband TV, this company right here. And it's been amazing. And so, I guess, I don't know if I'm doing a good job of telling the story, but I guess the points that I really wanted to drive across to you guys is, and the most important part about if you're going to take the leap in your career to possibly, go from being the YouTuber in your bedroom like I was with my content here, me doing the Star Wars The Old Republic content, to being an executive in a media company, or upper management in a media company and having a successful business, the jump from being in your bedroom to being, interviewing Jeff Kaplan at events like this, it can happen like that. And the key to success, I think, online right now is to really understand your clients, to really understand your audience, and to really actually give a shit, and to actually care about them. And to think every single day, how can I drive more value to the gaming community or whatever community you're creating content for? How can you drive more value for the employees of your company and for your staff? How can you drive more value for all of your clients, first and foremost, and provide them with what they need? And focus all of your resources, all of your time, all of your content, all of your energy into providing that value for first and foremost. And the more you can put aside your ego, the more you can put aside vanity numbers, the more you can put aside, thinking that you're amazing when you're growing or beating yourself up when you're behind, and just focus on that value, that value, that value. That's the biggest lesson that I've learned along the way in building this business and being a part of broadband TV and then basically becoming where I'm at today. Focusing on that is the most important part. There were so many times when we were really, really far behind, like Machinima. I remember along the way, it's easy to look at your competitors and think, oh my God, they're insurmountable and what have you. And we were behind Machinima. They were a big network at the time. They were like 10 times bigger than us at one point. And we ended up dwarfing them in terms of size in the end. But it felt insurmountable at many times when Machinima had 1 million subscribers at the time. And we were some rinky-dink channel over here, that had 25,000 or something like that with TGN, and we're like, how are we going to compete? And it was because we focused on our clients and we focused on helping people. And that's something that that's something that I want you guys to focus on when it comes to your channel. This me telling this story isn't some kind of elongated brag on what I've accomplished or something like that. The point of the story is to tell you that the key to success, the key to my success as an early YouTuber, was providing value to the gaming communities that I was creating content for, and giving them what they needed and what they wanted and being genuine. The key to success with TGN was giving our clients and giving creators what they wanted, and just focusing all of our resources only on that. And the key to your success now as a creator with your community is listening to your community, listening to their comments, asking them what they want, and then packing as much value into every video as you can. Don't get lazy. Communicate that value through your thumbnail, through your title, through the intro of your video, and throughout your video and throughout your streams. Put your time and energy into the people that are supporting you every step of the way, and you will be successful in the long run. It may take you longer than you want. It may take you longer than you think. And you know what? You may fail the first couple of times. You may fail the first 20 times. But eventually you'll get there if you're focusing on helping other people. That's the power of the internet. You need people to support you on the internet. You need people to support you and to pay attention to you on the internet. And that's the currency that we're all dealing with, is support and true love and true engagement around your initiative. And so if you can focus on that part of things, not your sub count, not how much money you're making, all of those things, and you can focus on that value, all of those other things will come with it. All right? The audience growth will come with it. The financial growth will come with it. It comes along with that afterwards, okay? So this is just, I guess the short version of that story. I guess, holy crap, I've been talking for 15 minutes about that, but I wanted to share that story with you guys and share how I ended up going from being a YouTuber. What's up, Orange Juicio? Good to see you in chat on Twitch. How I went from being a YouTuber in my bedroom to a media executive, and I guess I can call myself a media executive, upper management in a major media company, and that's how I did it. And taking that leap from being in your full-time job to doing what you love for a living, I would absolutely recommend it, especially if you're younger. If it's before you're married, if it's before you have kids, and that kind of thing, seriously consider doing it. Not many people sit there on their deathbed and regret, you know what, I shouldn't have gone and chased my dream. Like, who says that? You know what I mean? So go chase your dream. You know what I'm saying? Go do it. If you have a wife, you have kids, you have financial responsibilities, maybe it's a little bit different for you, right? Because your number one priority in life, of course, is taking care of them. But at the time, I had my wife, but we talked about it. She ended up having benefits with her job, and I ended up being able to quit my job and go jump on board this TGN thing. And it ended up working out, and I'm so incredibly grateful for it. And I want to give a big shout out right now to Nate Robbins, who has been there with me since very, very early times with me on YouTube. He's in chat right now. And Nate Robbins has been a moderator for me. He's been my friend, and he's been there supporting me on whatever kind of content ventures and whatever I've been doing along the way. He and I even did a YouTube channel together called Blog Talk Radio. We ended up doing their YouTube channel together. Remember that, Nate? Anyway, big shout out to Big Nate, who's in chat right now. Something like 9 years later, Big Neezy is still there. And so that's the kind of thing that matters to me, is building those real relationships and those real connections online. And that, I think, is the real key to success in the long run for all of you that are watching right now. If you want to be successful in your online business, in your online career, this is it. This is how you do it. Cool? Sweet. That was my rant on how I went full-time on YouTube. I don't know, I wanted to share that with you guys. So let me read some of your comments here, and we will get back to it. Beautiful. So anybody who's in chat who's new, speak up. I want to see you guys. Let's hear it. Hit me with your questions on how you can grow your YouTube channel, how you can grow on Mixer, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. I'm here to help. I've been doing this for a living for so long. I run so many of these avenues. I have religiously studied this stuff. I love it. And I'm here to help you right now. Okay? It's been so long since you've seen me, like back when I was doing TGN SWOTOR. There you go. Orange Juicio is in chat. You were there for me during the Star Wars The Old Republic days. I was just telling the story, as you know, about how I started in Star Wars The Old Republic and now I'm in this industry full time. So that's awesome to see you. Oh my gosh. Throwback from way back. Beautiful. I'm happy to share that story. So today, a 1980s retro is new. Awesome, new people in chat. That's awesome. And I've got chat going up here. I might tweak it in a little bit. It looks like it's like randomly showing up and not the chat over here, so we'll see what happens there. But anyway, we're gonna help out a patron right now who's using their patron fast pass to get some advice on something. And if you guys are not already familiar, I do have a Patreon going right now. And if you are interested in having me lend my expertise and my experience to help you grow your YouTube channel, I'll link that Patreon right now. I've got a $5 tier where I can provide you with advice and you can hop on board my Discord and get my exclusive posts. I've got a $25 tier where I do channel reviews and I will answer your questions on a fast pass on these live streams, and I'll also answer your direct messages, of course. And then I've got a coaching tier at $150 and you get VIP access to me, and I do one-on-one coaching calls. I've actually got one right after this for a brand new coaching tier patron I just picked up. So I'm really excited to be working with the Family Bovine. I'll be working with them right after this live stream, so I'm really, really happy about that. So if you're interested, feel free, hop in there. If you guys have been in part of my community for a bit, hop in there on the $5 level. Give me some support, and I will give you that advice and support in return. Speaking of which, let's help out Waffello, a fellow YouTuber here that has been working on this for 4 years. Showtime, it's great to see you in chat as well. God, the good one. Awesome to see you. And thank you guys for listening to my story of how I quit my full-time job and all of that. So here's Waffello's question. If you're not already familiar with Waffello, he's got this magic channel and he's been doing reaction videos recently and they've been blowing up. He got 95k views on one of his videos, guys. And for those of you that are struggling to grow, you know, he got like 100, couple hundred here and there, sometimes 1,000 views on his videos. But he got a couple here with 95k, 11k, 13k. It was amazing, the growth that he's been seeing. So he's looking at expanding once he got a successful piece of content, which I completely understand. So let's answer his question. And he's saying that he's thinking about creating an entirely separate channel because it doesn't fit the theme of your main channel. And it's namely a comedy news show is the question about stupid people doing stupid things. I love the concept. I love the concept of stupid people doing stupid things. You feel like you're at Disney World with the Fast Pass? You are at Disney World. Payday tomorrow, Andrew. All right, 1980s retro payday. You want to get that coaching tier eventually, Waffello? I understand it's a little bit expensive at $150. I keep my pricing as absolutely low as I can. A lot of other people who do coaching services are at like $250, but I wanted to keep mine at $150 so that smaller creators and folks that don't have that much money could get my services. I'm not trying to get rich quick here, so hopefully I can help as many people as possible by having a more reasonable price. So you wanted to get my opinions on, and everyone in chat, So let him know what your opinion on whether he should open up a new channel about stupid people doing stupid things. And so here's a thumbnail that you guys can take a look at if you are interested in seeing what fellow has put together here. And here's the test thumbnail of stupid people doing stupid things and him going, ah, I'm reacting to it. And so it looks like somebody like drove their car through the side of a business or some kind of super dumbass thing. And so I do have some feedback on the thumbnail itself. And you know, let me know, chat. Everybody in chat, let me know what you think could be improved in this thumbnail. And look, if you weren't already familiar, he's got the episode number right here. There. Right there. He's got a little bubble there. PAS episode number 1 in the thumbnail. Guys, provide your feedback in chat. And by the way, I'm reading your chat on all platforms, okay? So I can see your chat on Twitch, Periscope, Mixer, Facebook, and YouTube. So let's see what you guys think of this thumbnail format. Would you click this thumbnail? Post in chat. Type yes if you would click this thumbnail. Type no if you wouldn't click this thumbnail. Let's just get an objective test from all of you guys right now, and then I'll give you my feedback on this thumbnail, okay? You already have 20 episodes of this show already. Cool? Let's do it. Let's do a live test. Let's help this creator out. Let's help Wallfellow out. Let a man know. Would you click that? Or would you just say pass? Let me know what you think. I'll give you a few moments. There's a little bit of delay between me talking and you guys in chat. All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Okay, so this is a teenager taking their driver's test, and they drove it through the wall of through the wall of the DMV. Okay, that's pretty good. That's good. Okay, I've got feedback on that. All right, let's get some feedback from chat here. So Nate says, you love the color of the background, or the color of the background. I'm not sure what you think about the color of the background. You're like, nah. Okay. Need something more, you can't put your finger on it, says Ultra A rated on YouTube. 1980s Retro on YouTube says, sorry to be brutal, not a fan. Loads of people do these videos, sorry. Showtime says, face is exciting, the background's a little off. The Stevenson Gretsch family says, would have added a word or shocked emoji. Got it. So it looks like there's kind of a Pesh Play says maybe. Needs a title and some words. Yeah. So it looks like there's some feedback here from the audience that you're not really communicating the value clearly through this thumbnail, Wallfellow. So thank you very much, everybody, for your feedback. It's really good to get more people advising than just me, so we get more of a complete perspective on these kinds of things. So the concept that this is a student driver that drove through a DMV is hilarious. It's absolutely hilarious. And so I think that you should so first of all, I think that you should get rid of this thing in the corner right here. It looks like I'm like snuggling with you or something. But you should get rid of this thing in the corner. It's doing nothing for your thumbnail. Also, in text on the thumbnail, it needs to say, you need to have some kind of, I think like a circle and an arrow would be a way to enhance the thumbnail. So perhaps, I don't know how you will do the orientation, but doing like and I wish I could touch it, but my green screen's gonna cut me off up there. But on the top of the image, I'll use my mouse. You guys can see my mouse, right? Right here, doing a circle arrow, doing a circle here, and doing an arrow here, and having it say like DMV right here in text, and then having it say like on the side of the car, student driver, okay? And you don't even have to have a reaction face in the thumbnail. You can just say DMV, arrow, circle arrow, and then student driver on the side, and you can kind of enlarge that on the thumbnail. That is hilarious. I mean, the concept of a student driver driving into the side of a DMV is freaking hilarious. But all I see right now is there's a car accident and a young man who looks fake shocked. It just it's not clickable. Cool? Hopefully that helped. So deliver the value of the video, which is the DMV student driver joke. All right, cool. Beautiful. The other part is, should you open up a new channel to cover this sort of content. So I do have feedback for you there, and a lot of people, whenever they have a concept, and you've tested this concept before, it doesn't belong on my main channel, should I do it? I think that you should use the 80-20 rule to test that content on your channel right now. And if it's taking off on your main channel right now with 1 out of 5 videos, then consider opening a new channel or doing more of it on your channel currently. But you did this in the past, you need to see if this content works for you right now. So test it on your current channel rather than opening a new one, okay? And see if you can really make it work. If you can get thousands of views per episode on your current channel with this new stupid people doing stupid things show, then maybe it does deserve its own channel. But you know what? I don't think that it's justified to start a channel yet until you've proven the concept on your main channel. So consider adding this to your slate, 1 in 5 videos, and see how that goes. And I think that because it's a reaction series, it can fit with your current reaction videos quite nicely. Okay? That's my feedback for you, okay? You found some hilarious news stories? Let me tell you. That's fantastic. Awesome. Thank you everybody for tuning in. You love the t-shirt. I don't know if you're loving my t-shirt or the other people's, but this is my The Profit t-shirt. People, process, and product. Kind of like what I was telling you guys earlier about founding TGN and making it happen as a full-timer on YouTube. Focus on people first, come up with an amazing process, and then your great product will follow. 100%. I love The Profit. It's a great show. So hit me with your questions in chat, folks, on Twitch, Periscope, Mixer, Facebook, YouTube. Let's go. Hit me with your questions about how to grow your channel, how to grow your online business. If you have any questions about the algorithm, anything at all, hit me with it right now. You like The Profit? Yeah, Orange Juicio is like, I love The Profit. You gotta go, you're afraid. You're gonna watch this on replay. Cheers to you. No problem. Tice, it's great to see you as well. So while I'm waiting for your questions to come in, I do have something interesting to share with you, and let me know what you think about it and whether you're interested in buying this. I'm a big gearhead, I'm a big tech head, and I wanted to see if you guys are going to be buying the new GTX, the new GeForce RTX graphics cards. Did you guys see these? These just came out. This is like freaking gear porn right now. So when you, I mean, I'll just play the video for you so you can check it out. But basically, these products are out of control. These graphics cards, I mean, just watch the video behind me. This is the new super powerful line of graphics cards. It's the 20 series graphics cards. Most of the biggest graphics cards that you see today are the 10 series ones. So all of you that are producing content need to take notice of this new NVIDIA technology that's being released right now and think about upgrades. And so when the new series of graphics cards comes out, that's actually your opportunity to purchase the old series of graphics cards at a discount price. And so keep a close eye on the 10 series graphics cards to see if the prices come down. On the 1060 in particular, which gives a ton of value as a graphics card. I can give you guys a link to the 1060 if you guys are interested. I think it's the most value per graphics card by the numbers. And also the 1080 and 1080 Ti are cards that are, I think, going to come down in price. But this new 20 series graphics card now has new features. It's going to be more powerful and it's going to be more expensive, which is a really, oh yeah, this is total gear porn. They're so sick. So sick. They've got ray tracing now, which is a new feature in gaming that's going to be really important. They've got 11 gig of DDR6 RAM. Go! DDR6 RAM, baby, that's what I'm talking about. Fast as freaking grease lightning over here. Breaking the sound barrier. And I mean, if you want something that's 4K ready, that's VR ready, these graphics cards are going to be absolutely disgusting. So freaking powerful, so unbelievably good. So guys, seriously, now is the time over the next 3 months to go shopping for 10 series graphics cards to upgrade your rig and to upgrade your setup. I'm dead serious right now. Like, go to Amazon, and consider looking at these graphics cards and keep a very close eye on them. And what I'm talking about is the GTX 1060 graphics card is a fantastic graphics card for the money. It's only $279, and you get a ton of power for $300. It's crazy, crazy amounts of power. 6 gig of DDR5 RAM. If you guys are looking for a card for streaming or for gaming or for video production, the GTX 1060 is probably going to be your best bet. Keep an eye on the price. It's super low right now. It's only $279. I'm just giving you guys the heads up. If you're looking to upgrade your rig, this is the time to do it. When new technologies are released, this is the time to go ahead and consider upgrading your technology, straight up. Yep. Just wanted to give you guys the heads up on that. That's when I upgrade. Whenever the processors move up to the next generation, I look at buying the highest end of the previous generation. Whenever graphics cards move up to the next generation, I buy the highest end of the previous generation. Because normally the gap between the highest end of the previous generation of hardware and the new generation of hardware on the low end isn't that much. But the price difference is massive. So consider that in getting additional value right now with this new hardware that just came out, okay? Wanted to give you guys that hardware heads up. Clash Bashing, it's good to see you in chat. Awall, are you able to play other YouTube videos on your stream without getting a strike? That's a great question. So you can play YouTube videos on your stream without getting a strike, assuming that you're properly reacting to them and you're doing, and what you're doing is transformative in some way. The issue with a stream, though, is there could be automatic takedowns for certain content that could just kill your stream right there. And maybe after the stream, after your stream was killed, you could debate what happened, and you could get your content reinstated by contesting that takedown. But unfortunately, it's too late. Your stream is down now, and that's something that you have to be really careful with. So an example of that is H3's recent podcast stream. They do a video stream where they react to, Pesh Play says, you have a GTX 1060 graphics card, 6 gig, and you're not kidding? I know, man. It is like such a killer graphics card. So much value. $279, and you get like a tier 3 graphics card. Like tier 1 now is that 20 series stuff. Like the 1080 Ti, 1080s, and what have you are in tier 2. And that 1060 is right there in tier 3. It's a really good graphics card. It's so good for the money. Like you can run everything on Ultra on that graphics card. So anyway, and you can render videos like crazy with that graphics card. So anyway, to go back to your question, if you play a video during your stream and it kills your stream, it just kills your stream. I know that sounds obvious, but it does, and that can be a huge problem. And you can get, when your stream turns into a video later, you can get that video reinstated, but your stream's still dead. And so that's a problem. So I would be more careful than not. I would recommend not playing audio a lot of the time in case there's any music tracks in those videos that you're playing that maybe could get your stream struck. Like let's say a pop song plays out of nowhere, a rock song plays out of nowhere, that could absolutely crush you during your live stream. So that's something that you have to be really, really careful with. And sorry, just pulling up the side here. You have to be really careful with that. And another thing you need to be careful about are highly controversial videos and showing those on your stream. So the H3 podcast example I was talking about, you guys know about Alex Jones, the InfoWars guy? The guy who's a real man. He has like conspiracy theories about like how Hillary Clinton is like a child molester and pizza shop crap, and I don't even know. He's a conspiracy theory guy, and YouTube and all these platforms deemed him to be, unsafe in terms of content. I'm gonna leave politics out of this, but the point is, because his content is being struck platform-wide on YouTube, H3 was doing a reaction video or a reaction live on their podcast stream to him doing something, and their stream got taken down, got killed in the moment. And so it actually killed their viewership for over an hour before they had to call YouTube. They actually had to call the representative of YouTube and get their stream reinstated. Otherwise, their YouTube event would have been dead. And that's the issue when you're supposed to be streaming to YouTube events. And when your YouTube event gets killed, it can just kill the piece of content permanently. Getting your viewer, or semi-permanently. Getting those viewers to come back to a new event is extremely difficult. So your concurrents suffer, your performance on your video suffers, and so it can be a huge impact. So supplements, Orange Juicio knows about Alex Jones. Yeah. So there you go. So that would be my recommendation. Is if you're gonna do it, make sure you're reacting to it, make sure you're talking about it. Try not to use the audio, and be very careful not to show controversial clips. So that would be my recommendation for showing videos in live streams, okay? Beautiful. What is one great piece of advice you would give to a small YouTuber? That's great. Great question, the Stevenson Gretsch family. I'm happy to answer that question. So part number one of that question is, so there's three steps that you need to go through to be a successful YouTuber. Are you ready? And two of those steps are gonna come from me, and one of those steps is gonna come from a friend of mine on YouTube, and his name is Tom Nash. And so step number one is this. All of you pay attention, because even if you're on YouTube or you're on any avenue creating content, you need to focus on these three steps and fully understand all three of them and constantly reassess what you're doing in all three steps to be successful. You have to constantly refresh your strategy. You have to constantly reassess what you're doing, because the platforms that you're on, their algorithms are changing daily, okay? So I'm amazing. Thank you very much. And I appreciate all of you guys that have become my patrons and that have been giving me tips in the tip jar. I really appreciate that. If you do tip me, there's a link in my description. If you guys decide to give me a tip or to become my patron, or if you become you give me a tip, the YouTube play button shows up right here below my stream. So thank you very much. On YouTube, there's a link in the description if you guys want to donate to put more play buttons in the tip jar. But anyway, to answer your question, here's step one. Step one is this. You need to understand your motivations as a creator first. Bear with me. Listen all the way through this rant, and you will have a complete understanding of how to be successful. And remember all of this. Are you ready? Step number one, know your motivations for creating content. And there are three motivations for any creator. There's an audience growth motivation, there's a financial goals motivation, and there's a creative and emotional needs motivation. So you need to decide which of those three motivations is the most important for you right out the gate, so that your goals when you're creating content on your channel are going to be serving that particular goal moving forward. Because otherwise, if you don't know what is important to you, audience growth, financial goals, or creative fulfillment, then you can burn out early, or you'll never feel satisfied and you'll quit. And making content on Twitch, on Mixer, on Twitter, on Facebook, on Snapchat, on YouTube is a long game. And so understanding your motivations will have that satisfaction for you and will give you real goals that you can accomplish. For most people, audience growth is their goal in the early stages of creating content on the internet, and that's fine. But for other people like me right now, my main motivation is actually creative and emotional motivations, just to be perfectly honest. I'm doing this right now because I love helping creators, and it makes me feel happy about my life and myself to do this. That's why I'm live streaming right now and not doing these SEO videos to try to get mad views. So I know what my motivations are, so I'm doing a live strategy to interact with you guys because that's what makes me happy. So knowing your goals right out the gate will help you select the right content strategy. That's step number one. Step number two is when you're deciding your content strategy, you need to be delivering 5 values. You probably heard my boy Tom Nash talking about this, but you need to deliver 5 values in all of your content in order to get views. And those 5 values are new, best, unique, challenge and learning. If your content isn't new, best, unique, challenge, or learning, it's not going to get any views on any platform. YouTube, Twitch, Mixer, any platform at all. If you can combine multiple of those values, you'll get even more views. So an example of a multi-value piece of content would be something like what Ali A is making for Fortnite. Whether you watch him or not, it doesn't matter. But in his thumbnails, he'll have, it'll say, new update for this game, with the best weapon. And then he'll be reacting and going, what? So what that communicates to the audience is that there's something new, and it's the best version of it, and it's something unique that you need to know about. So he combines 3 values in his thumbnail, in his title, and in his content, and that gets him millions of views per video. And so the more value you can pack into your thumbnails, into your titles, and into your content out of those 5 content values, new, best, unique, challenge, and learning, the more traction you can get on YouTube, and the more traction you can get for accomplishing your goals. That's step number 2, okay? Step number 3 is doing what Tom Nash recommends in this video, which is focusing on the number 1 most important statistic on YouTube. And and it's not what you think. It's not what you think at all. So I'm gonna link this to you guys right now in chat. Watch this video by Tom Nash. It is a mind-blowing video. It is absolutely mind-blowing. And I want you guys to post in chat right now, what do you think is the most important stat that you need to focus on YouTube in particular to grow? Post it in chat. Let me know what you think. I'll wait for your responses in chat, and then I'll tell you what Tom Nash has to say about it. Watch this entire video. I'm telling you, this will change how you analyze data and how you think about growing on YouTube when you watch this video. I'll give you a moment to post what you think is the most important statistic. I've asked you guys this question before, and there's actually a new answer that's even better than the answer that was given before. Seriously. And I'll explain the concept, the short version of it, but the full version, Tom Nash hits you with this massive knowledge bomb. You guys gotta watch this video by Tom Nash. You've got to watch this video by Tom Nash. He and I, by the way, are gonna do a secret show next week together. I'm really looking forward to it. You guys already forgot? Tice, you already forgot what the most important statistic is on YouTube? Tice! No! That's why you gotta tune into my live streams every day, man. I might repeat some of the same stuff, but if you hear the same thing over and over again, you know, it's proven statistically that you have to be told the same thing 6 times or more before you actually retain the information or believe it. It's true. So watch me 5 days a week and you'll almost be there. All right. Showtime says consistency. You think consistency is the most important statistic. I see what you mean. So like upload frequency and uploading at a certain frequency. That's a good answer. It's not the answer that I'm going for, but that is a good trait to have for YouTube. Any other guesses in chat? Folks that are watching on Twitch, Periscope, Mixer, Facebook as well, feel free to hit me up in chat. I'm reading chats from all platforms. The Stevenson Gretsch family says good content to keep people watching. Yep, that's a good answer. You even see Tom write it in chat and you still forget. All right, so here's what Tom says about this, and I'll go ahead and go back to full screen so that I can explain it to you, and watch the video that I posted in chat about this, okay? So the way Tom describes it in this video is that watch time and audience retention is what Wafello says. Clash Bashing says click-through rate. So you guys hit the 2 pieces of it, but there's actually a statistic that combines those 2 together that is the ultimate statistic on YouTube. Consistency, says Pesh Plays. Got it. Here's the deal. You guys are all wrong. You're partially correct, but you're all wrong. The most important statistic on YouTube is minutes watched per impression. Minutes watched per impression. So before you disappear and go, what the F, I don't even understand that, let me explain it in a simple way like Tom explained it, okay? He's got this brilliant explanation. Watch his video, but he's got a brilliant explanation, and here's the short version of it. It's like, he's describing YouTube like it's a grocery store. And there's only a certain amount of shelf space on YouTube for your videos. And so every bit of that shelf space is worth money. And just like a grocery store, you only want to put inventory on the shelf that's gonna sell, right? A grocery store is not gonna put cereal on the cereal shelf that isn't selling. They're gonna put Lucky Charms up there and Frosted Flakes and Cheerios because those sell and sell big. And that's why those companies spend so much on marketing, blah, 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 is because when their product's on the shelf, it sells, right? And when products are on the shelf that don't sell, grocery stores take it off the shelf and they replace it with something that does sell, right? YouTube is the exact same way as a grocery store. And I love this analogy. So every time you walk down the aisle in a grocery store and you see any of the products next to you, that's an impression. You're looking at each one of the front of those boxes and you're deciding, am I gonna grab Cheerios? Am I gonna grab Frosted Flakes? Am I gonna grab the generic brand? Every one of those is an impression. And if you decide to go out there and go grab one of those boxes of cereal, take it and check out, that's ultimately what the store wants. And YouTube is the exact same way as that. All of the different places it could suggest your videos are essentially shelf space on YouTube. And suggesting content more and more is like that middle shelf in the grocery store, that money shelf in the grocery store that generates the most sales. And so for every impression and every chance that YouTube gives your content on its platform, it's gonna want users to go out and go grab your video and watch it for as long as possible and ultimately buy your video, if you will, because advertisements will be served against it. So it's looking to maximize that shelf space on the platform. And so when you give the most minutes watched per impression on the platform, that's exactly what it's doing. It's optimizing the best videos for the shelves on YouTube that are gonna generate the most minutes watched. And so that's why it's doing A versus B testing with all of your videos. When you're releasing your content on YouTube, it's your video versus somebody else's. If they click yours, the other video loses. Then it's your video versus somebody else's. If they click the other video, yours loses. And that constant A versus B contest that's happening on YouTube is what determines what videos are on the shelf in this grocery store analogy on YouTube. Isn't that such a good explanation of the best statistic? So watch time per impression. That's a combination of click-through rate and audience retention, okay? But think about it like the grocery store analogy. It's the most simple way. It's the most simple way to think about this. Once again, I will link this video one more time. His name is Tom Nash. Tom Nash, right there. There's his video. He's the man. Watch this video. He explains it even better than me. A full 8-minute explanation. And Tom Nash he's the shit. He's the real deal. And I'm gonna be collaborating with him more soon because he's a good guy. He's trying to help creators. He and I are trying to accomplish the same thing. Great. So here's some questions in chat about that. Dropping knowledge bombs, says Showtime. That's right. Clash Bashing is asking, what is considered a decent average view time? It depends on the length of your video. Here are some benchmarks that you can look at. Everybody's got different ones. So I'll call it a benchmark. I'm not gonna say that you're failing if you don't hit this, or you're crushing if you exceed it, but here's a good benchmark to have for your content to seek out. Generally speaking, your videos are going to do well on YouTube. Generally speaking, if your click-through rate is 10% or higher, and your audience retention is 60% or higher, your relative audience retention. So your audience retention percentage, okay? So 10% or higher click-through rate and 60% or higher audience retention. If you can reach those numbers, like that's a benchmark, if you can get over that 10% click-through rate, you can get over that 60% audience retention, your videos are probably going to take off. Your channel's probably going to do extremely well. A lot of channels are sitting in the single-digit percentages in terms of click-through rate. That's not bad, but the higher you can get that number, if you can get it into double digits, you are going to have a god-tier video. Tom, you just missed me plugging the crap out of your video. I linked so many times to your video, Tom. I did your shopping cart analogy video. I talked about it for like 10 minutes. You just missed the whole spiel. Me talking about the mind-bending statistics that Tom Nash is dropping on your channel right here. Guys, if you're not already subscribed to Tom Nash, do it. I can't talk about Tom Nash anymore because I just went on a giant rant about Tom Nash. But he tells you in this video I just linked the shopping cart analogy what the most important statistic is on YouTube. You heard it all? Okay, good. I won't repeat it again. That'll be obnoxious. So trying to get over that 10% click-through rate, trying to get over 60% audience retention, and just your videos will be blowing up. Those are relatively high numbers in my personal experience, okay? But here's what the real deal is with click-through rate numbers and with relative audience retention. By the way, you can see all of this in YouTube Studio Beta. All you're really trying to do is get a higher click-through rate than your competitors. All you're really trying to do is get a higher audience retention than your competitors. But unfortunately, you can't actually see your competitors. So that's kind of a pain in the ass. It's kind of a pain in the ass. You can't actually see what their numbers are. But ultimately, that's all you're trying to do. So when I tell you 10% click-through rate and 60% audience retention, it's just a general rule based on my personal experience. Let's say your competitors, their click-through rate on their videos on the topic you're competing with them on is 5%. And let's say their audience retention is 30%. If your click-through rate on your videos is 8%, and then your audience retention is 45%, you're probably going to outrank them, and you're probably going to end up crushing them in terms of that topic, and you will rise up in search, you will rise up in suggested, you'll rise up in all of those different mechanics on YouTube that are going to promote your video. So it's just about being better than the competitor, that's all. And so when you see big YouTubers out there that are crushing like PewDiePie and Markiplier and Logan Paul and all these guys, the reason why their videos are on top isn't because they have so many subscribers. It isn't because they have such a big budget. It's because they have a higher than almost anybody on YouTube click-through rate for their particular type of content, and they have a higher than almost everybody on YouTube audience retention. And what happens when you combine those two scores? That's called minutes watched per impression. And that is the key statistic that is controlling all of YouTube, basically, that if you can focus on increasing minutes watched per impression, you can grow. Trademark Tom Nash. Signed, Tom Nash. There you go. You have Google Voice Alerts? Okay, nice. People, process, President Awall. That's what it should say. People, process, President Awall on the shirt. What do you guys think of the chat right here? I kind of like having chat up in this main window. Let me know. Is it crowding a bit? I kind of like it. I like having you guys next to me on the screen. Let me know, keep it or leave it. Yes, if you want me to keep chat there. No in chat if you want me to kill it. Type that in chat, let me know. It was a great video. Yeah. Sovereign Amir, it's great to see you in chat. Awesome to see you. Anybody who's new, speak up in chat. Ask me your questions about YouTube. Ask me your questions about Mixer, Twitch, Periscope, social media platforms. I am here to help. That's what I'm doing, these live streams, Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time, every day to help you guys out. Okay? Beautiful. So, all right, there was another statistic here. So there was Clash Bashing was saying that that you have a 30% audience retention. Okay, so Clash Bashing's click-through rate is 6.9%, and your retention is 30%. Sigh. Now, make sure with a channel like yours, and I don't think you actually release your live streams as videos, Clash Bashing, but if you did, make sure, if you did in the past, make sure that when you're in YouTube Analytics, you're only selecting videos when you're taking a look at your analytics. Otherwise, it'll combine all of your live streams plus your videos, and obviously your live streams are gonna have a much lower relative audience retention and maybe a lower click-through rate. It'll certainly differ. And so you don't want to look at that combined data. You want to only look at your videos when you're looking at your click-through rate and your audience retention. Because in my experience, great live stream VODs will have like a 10 to 15% audience retention, whereas a great video might have a 30 to 70% audience retention, right? Ty says you have a 9.2% click-through rate. That's good. And a 21.9% audience retention, but your channel is trash. Well, don't be so hard on yourself. So it looks like your click-through rate is relatively high, but your audience retention is relatively low with 21.9%. So what you're gonna wanna focus on, Tice, to increase the views on your content is to focus on maybe teasing the beginning of your videos a bit better and to hook viewers throughout. And maybe doing more intense edits along the way, maybe teasing the value of your videos along the way, and maybe delivering more value per video. And oh no, the reason why you only have, hold on a second. You have 21.9% audience retention on these long live streams. That's really, really good if you're including live streams. With your videos though, there are a number of ways to hook the viewers to increase your audience retention. And one cool trick that you can do, you like my hair? Thank you. I like my hair too. Thank you very much, Squizzzzzzz on Twitch. I appreciate that. I don't know how to pronounce your name. But one thing that you can do in your videos is to tell people, look, if you want to see such and such concept, this is something that Daryl Eves was mentioning in his VidCon algorithm talk. I thought it was a really cool concept. So let's say in one of your videos, you're doing something really cool and you're showing people something. And let's say at this point, you're like, yo, really quick, if you wanted to see what I did there and just a minute ago, rewind the video back. And so if people like rewind the video back and they watch a piece of your video again, it'll actually spike the audience retention on that part of your video super duper duper hard, Tice, and will help increase your overall minutes watched by a significant margin. So if you do that a couple times in your videos systematically, it can actually boost your retention big time. So like, let's say later on, like in the video, this is like the mega moment when you like teach people something amazing. Like literally tell people, look guys, go ahead and just rewind the video back to 50 seconds and watch that again. And come back to me here and I'll explain that concept to you again because it's worth having another look. Telling people to rewind it back and then watch it again has a major impact. And you can see it on your analytics and you can get these little like audience retention bumps on your analytics that can really boost your channel in this significant way. It's a really cool trick. Obviously, the main thing that I recommend people do is to use the triple hook. Hook people in your thumbnail with the most broad level of tease. Do in your title a bit more specific of a level tease, giving people a more specific idea of the value that you're going to be providing through your content. And then in your actual video, in the very beginning, go ahead and tease the main value of your video at the start of your video, right when it begins. Then, right after that in your intro, right about here, you tell everybody, and stick around to the end. You're gonna have to watch this whole video to find out this huge piece of value I'm telling you about. And then make sure that the biggest piece of value that you're delivering in your video is towards the end. And then when you deliver that value towards the end of your video, then tell people to rewind it back to watch that piece of value again. It's worth their time. That would be like the ultimate formula to boost your audience retention as much as you possibly can to grow your channel. Knowledge bombs being dropped. Indeed, Tom Nash. Speaking of hair, or rather head, did you officially retire the fedora? I did officially retire the fedora, yep. I wore a fedora for years and years and years, and now I'm just going la natural with this beautiful, blonde, gorgeous locks. I don't know why I'm swinging my hair around like that, but anyway, it is what it is. So guys, that's gonna be it for this live stream. I need to, really quick before we go, I've got to do a coaching call really quick. Hold on a second. Tice just dropped me a super chat. Thank you very much. A $5 super chat from Tice. Thank you very, very much. I really appreciate that. Hopping up here on the Awall of Fame here on the side. Thank you very much for that super chat. I really appreciate you. Yeah, of course, I'm happy to help you with advice like that. Really grateful to have, really grateful. Yeah, no problem, dude. Super chats all day. So thank you very much for the $5. What was I gonna say? Let me repeat that information one more time, Tice, so you can remember it. And thank you very much for the super chat. It's all about the triple hook. The tease in your thumbnail, the more specific tease in your title, teasing the best part of your video in the first few seconds, Then right here around 18 seconds saying, stick around to the end of the video, you aren't gonna wanna miss it. And then towards the end of the video, when you deliver the value, tell them to rewind it back and watch it again. That's your formula for increasing your minutes watched. Also, Tom Nash does this in his videos, in a lot of his videos. He's like, you're gonna wanna stick around. You're gonna wanna watch to the end, says Tom Nash. So Tom Nash is somebody that uses this trick pretty well in his content. So if you haven't already checked him out, he's a fellow YouTube certified expert. I'm linking this on all of my avenues, so everybody on Twitch, on Twitter, and on Mixer and Facebook as well. Go ahead and check out Tom Nash. He's a YouTube certified expert just like me. Go check him out. His content is absolutely worth watching, and he has insights beyond and that kind of complement a lot of what I'm talking about, okay? So between the two of us, we got you covered, baby. We got you covered for growing on YouTube and growing on your different avenues. Anyway, appreciate the YouTube play buttons in the tip jar. Jingle, jingle, jingle. Beautiful. Anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for the stream today. So if you guys are interested, any of you, I did open up a $5 patron tier. For those of you guys that have been waiting, you're like, I don't know if I'm gonna do it. But here's my Patreon. If you want my advice, you want more personalized advice, you would like more one-on-one attention, I'm happy to help with my Patreon. Or if you just want to support me as a creator in my effort to help creators as my mission, support me on Patreon. I've got a $5 tier where I give advice and you get access to my Discord and you get my eternal gratitude. And at the $25 level, I do channel reviews. I do fast passes like Disney World for these live streams, and you get unlimited follow-up messages with me. Folks like Wafello, for example, on this stream, got to use that fast pass today. And I also do one-on-one coaching and the VIP treatment for certain creators. And I've got a VIP that I'm going to be somebody I'm coaching right after this, the Family Bovine. Very excited to be coaching them right after this live stream. So if you're interested, become my patron today. I linked it in chat. That's the deal, my friends. We're gonna end the stream right there. I'll see you guys tomorrow at 10 a.m. Central Standard Time on all of my avenues. And of course, keep creating great content. Keep focusing on the value of your content. And remember what Tom Nash says, impressions. What are you trying to do with those impressions? Maximize the minutes watched per impression. That's the statistic you need to remember today. Go check out Tom Nash. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. See you tomorrow. Keep making great content. Don't let the negativity get to you. Keep pushing through. And remember what I told you about my story when I quit my full-time job to go to do YouTube for a living. Sometimes you just have to make that leap to do what you love. It might be high risk, but just make sure that you're taking all of your family considerations into account. If you have kids, if you have a wife, if you have certain financial obligations, if you take the full-time jump like I did to do YouTube for a living. Microcar360, it's great to see you on Mixer. Thank you so much for joining me on Mixer. Follow me there. I got another live stream going tomorrow at 10 a.m. Alrighty then, let's do it. Adios, amigos.